Hey folks, Carl here and welcome to episode 5 of Revell's Colonial Viper Mark II. Okay folks, you have to excuse me, just tidying up. We have been working on the Colonial while we've been waiting for things to dry, and we've literally just finished the engine pods. So those are all done. So I'm going to go move those out of the way and tidy up a little bit, because we are starting to get a bit of a mess here. So where were we? We were in the process of doing the diorama, so I shall get the diorama. It's just here underneath the table. So this is where we were with the diorama, and of course we have the Viper itself. The cockpit is now fixed and in position with that little bit of super glue. So the plan now is, we've been to the shop to get some more polyfiller. Now the stuff we've used so far for this part, this stuff, the deep gap polyfiller stuff, has actually doubled in price since I bought this last time, so it's getting quite expensive. So we found a cheaper alternative. We've got the polyfiller multi-purpose stuff. Now this is the same price as that stuff was, so I think this stuff is a little bit finer, which could be a good thing, so we'll get rid of that. Let's have a look. So yeah, it's a little bit finer and it's a little bit wetter, but I do believe that it does dry a little bit quicker, so we don't need that just yet. I'll get that back down there. So we need some rocks. So I have a few left over here from when we built. What did we use these for? I can't remember. So we're going to lay this out how we want it. So I'm probably going to have the ship sit in this position, and it will be tilted on its side like so. Obviously we're going to be having a water here. Now I was thinking of actually running a very little, not a stream, but I don't know what the proper word is, but just a little run of water working its way up here. That's what I'm thinking. So I was thinking of having these stones about and throw them around, see what we do. I was thinking of building some, like a little, maybe a little rock pool here or something. I don't know how easy that would be. I need to get some more rocks. These coming up from the corner, like so. Maybe something like that. We'll have them rocks in the water. Maybe we're just throwing things around and coming up with ideas. And we're going to need this wing. This is going to be buried somewhere here. And there was the gun as well, which is somewhere safe. I shall find it shortly, but the gun will lie somewhere in here. So something basic and simple like so. And we'll see how it turns out. And of course our reeds arrived as well. They are made by Bush and Get Rydfeld and Schilf, Grainfield and Reeds. So it's around about £6 to £7 plus delivery of a couple of pounds. It looks like a great big shaver's brush, but it's very effective. Tightly packed like this, it looks like a really thick and dense cornfield. But what you do is you grab a tuft and you just pull it out, and on the bottom it's like a very soft glue. So this will be all around the edges here and up amongst these rocks, and of course the water will be here, and of course our pilot, once we've cut his other leg off, poor fella, will be sitting somewhere here, hiding. So that is the general plan. Oh, there's the gun. So yeah, so the gun will be sitting somewhere here, like so. So that's the general plan. Right, there's a few things I need to do before we can carry on. The first one is I need to get all this stuff wrapped in cling film, because we are going to be getting extremely messy very shortly. So I'm gonna tidy my bench up a little bit more because it's an absolute filth off camera, and I'll get this cling film wrapped. I will get a few more rocks so we can build this up a little bit more of how we want it, and we shall be right back. Okay folks, so we are now ready. The model has been wrapped up in some cling film, so it's completely covered. Doesn't need to be neat or tidy or anything like that, just so we can get the general shape into the polyfiller we're going to be putting on here. So we've got the three main parts that are going to be sticking. I've gone and put the engines on the back because those are going to make an impression, especially down in this corner here, because this side will be lying low. So that is that done. I need to get the polyfiller up and some gloves. So because this is going to get messy, so what we're going to do is we're going to lay down polyfiller all over the top of this and into here, and we're going to hopefully try and retain the shape of this once this polyfiller goes on the top. This is going to be very wet to start off with, so we'll get it down on top all messy, and it'll be quite sticky and gooey. We will then leave it for around about half an hour to an hour, and we will then come back to it and mould it into some sort of shape. So this stuff is really sticky, so off we go. So we'll put that down for now, and we'll start spreading it about, get into the shape of everything. This is much stickier than the other polyfiller stuff we've got, so I'll take a little bit more work. It's got a funny smell to it as well. So I'm probably going to speed up this video while we get this all spread out and sticking to the base. So, talk to you in a moment. Okay folks, so as you can see that stuff is really sticky, so we are going to now leave this for half an hour or so, just to let the surface become a little bit less tacky, so it's not quite as horrible and gooey, and it'll allow us to shape it a little bit better and clean it up a little bit. So I will be back in around about 30 minutes. Okay folks, it's not been half an hour, it's probably only been a couple of minutes actually, but what I've needed to do is I've taken the tape off around the edges, as you can see, because some of this has gone over the side, and I need to get it off before it goes rock solid. So I'm just getting a damp cloth and cleaning the frame up, getting all the polyfiller off the edges of the frame, because it'd be quite difficult to get off once it's dry. I've also, with this being a damp cloth, I've gone round and I've dabbed some of this down as well, because it won't stick to the damp cloth, just to smooth it off a little bit and get some of the parts that you saw me earlier on where I just went around the edges with my finger. It's left it quite smooth, so this is going to shape it up and flatten it out a bit. And of course we're trying to make this come up here and gradually disappear. I'm still going to leave it half an hour before I push in any of the kit, because it is still very, very soft. And of course we went and got a pile more stones, with loads of stones in here to actually lay some bits and pieces out. So just thought I'd just thought I'd stop and show you that I am actually cleaning up some of this polyfiller, because it has gone everywhere, as I thought it would. Oh, I'll be back in around about half an hour. Okay folks, so we are 15 minutes drying time. Excuse my head if that went in the way there. And this is now still sticky. We've gone around with the kitchen towel. We've just dabbed it down and flattened it all off. But before it dries any further, we're going to start placing some of the rocks in. As you can see, I've already placed in a couple right there at the mouth of where this little bit of water is coming from. So I'm going to build up some rocks around here, and I'm going to put a few probably up around here, because I'm hoping to get this bit flooded up and around here. But we'll see how high up we can come with the water. So all my rocks are laid out here, so we're just choosing random stones, things we think will fit and look right. So I'm just going to be pushing them in. We want something a little bit bigger than that. That one's sparkly, we don't want that. So I'm going to put that one there, so it's hopefully sticking out of the water a little bit. Right there. And dropping them in. Like so. So obviously these stones are now going to be staying in place. We shall not be taking them back out. And what we'll do is we'll use some of the gravel we've got that we've used in previous builds, and we'll fill in some of these gaps. That looks a good one for around about there. So yeah, we hope the water comes up here a little bit. This stuff is actually quite pliable. I'm hoping to get the figure somewhere around here. So we'll have all reeds and rushes coming out of this. We'll see if we can get the water to come, but very, very shallow, obviously. I think for now, until we get the ship down as well, because we'll still be able to get these in when we come to do the ship. I just wanted to get them, the main part of the layout down. I think that will do it for now. So I'm going to give this another 20 odd minutes just to dry out that little bit more, just so that when we come to actually push the kit in, it actually holds its shape. So we'll be back very soon. Okay folks, we are ready to get this ship pushed in, the wing and the gun. So we are wanting around about, make sure we don't go over the edge of the scene, so we're going to want that something like there, and go push it in right there. That should stick right there. I don't know how much of an impression we're going to get, and I am probably going to drop a few stones under here so it looks like it's actually lying on something. So that is the ship in place, and we'll leave it there for a second. Not actually sunk in that much, not as much as I thought it would. And the wing we're going to have around about here. Now we really want to get this sunk in like so, like that. And we do want it sticking up slightly, and we're going to put the gun right about there, so that will be in the water. So I'll leave that there. So let's have a look. How much of an indentation that's made. Not that much, but we do have now where it is going to lie. I'll take this as well. You see the impression there, and we shall slide this one out. Actually, I'm going to leave that one there, because if I pull that, it's just going to rip that out. So I'm going to leave that there until it's a little bit drier, and we can get it out without pulling all this polyfiller off with it. Or can we? There we go, that will do. I'm not going to touch it. Hopefully it won't sag. Oh. There we go. We have our impressions and indentations of where everything is going to lie, and that is what we are looking like so far. So we'll now leave that to completely dry, he says as he goes around touching it up again. Yep, there we go. Okay folks, so I completely forgot to get these stones in up here, so off camera I went and I laid some out so the wing actually sits on top of that rock there, and I added a couple more. I had one here and another one there, So now this is now starting to crust up a little bit, so it's going to be several days, a day or two before this is dry enough to actually start putting the scenery in. So this video is around about 20 minutes long, so I am going to call this one here done. So the next video we will probably be painting the Viper itself. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Be good, be safe, and as always, keep making models, and we will catch you next time. Ta-ta!